The year was 1917, and the world was unraveling. Europe was engulfed in the fiery chaos of the Great War, and whispers of America's inevitable involvement were growing louder. The biplanes soaring over distant battlefields were as fragile as dragonflies, but they carried the promise of a new frontier, aviation. In this charged atmosphere, one man would rise to the challenge, carving his name into the historical record, not with a chisel, but with a soaring vision. Hi everyone, Ken here. Today we are uncovering Greyledge, the home of Colonel Raynal C. Bolling. Hit that subscribe button and let's explore this house. In 1877, Raynal Bolling was born into a life of privilege in Hot Springs, Arkansas, yet his life was tempered by the rigor of elite education and an insatiable drive for excellence. After attending the prestigious Penn Charter School in Philadelphia, he strode confidently into the hallowed halls of Harvard, where he graduated in 1900. By 1902, he had added a law degree to his growing list of accomplishments and moved to New York City, joining the ranks of Manhattan's most promising young attorneys. But Bolling was not content to simply ride the wave of Gilded Age prosperity. At Guthrie, Cravath, and Henderson, and later as general counsel for U.S. Steel, his brilliance as a corporate lawyer was undeniable. Yet behind the polished veneer of a rising star in corporate America was a man restless for something more, a chance to make a lasting impact. By 1911, Bolling's success afforded him a life of unimaginable comfort. In the picturesque town of Greenwich, Connecticut, he commissioned a grand estate, Greyledge, designed by architect Theodore Blake, who had worked under Carrere and Hastings, the esteemed architects behind the New York Public Library and many of America's most iconic Gilded Age structures. The sprawling mansion had been designed to be reminiscent of an English manor house, with a brick facade broken up by large, rusticated stones and bits of half-timbering sprinkled throughout. Each face of Greyledge, though unified by materials, boasted a unique composition, keeping an element of intrigue as you circled the mansion. The grounds included everything from a private shooting range to horse stables, and from formal gardens to a garage to store Bolling's automobile collection. Before heading inside, we can take a quick look at the floor plan, noting that nearly an entire wing is set aside for his live-in staff. His staff quarters even continue to the second floor, where there are 5 private bedrooms for his maids and governess. Inside, the home boasted a rustic stone gallery wrapping about the public rooms and terminating on the loggia. Arranged off the gallery, you could find the library and drawing room, mere images of each other directly in the center of the house. The library was finished out with floor-to-ceiling built-in bookcases on the interior walls and rich wood paneling on the exterior wall. The music room, which opens into another loggia, was finished out in muted colors with its wall paneling painted in a creamy off-white. Though for as lavish as his home might have been, Bolling barely had a time to bask in luxury. The world was shifting beneath his feet, and the call to service was growing louder. The early 1900s were an age of innovation, and few advancements captivated the public imagination quite like the airplane. In 1915, Bolling, along with a gaggle of adventurous New York businessmen, took to the skies, learning to fly on Long Island's open fields. It wasn't just a thrill, it was a mission. Bolling became a leading voice in the preparedness movement, an initiative driven by America's elite to prepare the nation for the possibility of war. At Plattsburgh, New York, he organized a troop and even arranged for demonstrations of military aircraft. But Bolling didn't stop at advocacy. He took action, forming the first Aero Company, the first National Guard aviation unit in U.S. history. By 1916, his unit was flying daring cross-country formations, including a headline-grabbing flight to Princeton University. Bolling's vision and leadership turned the fledgling field of military aviation into a force to be reckoned with. When the United States finally entered World War I in April of 1917, Bolling didn't hesitate. Leaving behind his glittering legal career and his young family, he joined the Army Signal Corps as a major. His mission was monumental, to help America's nascent air service take flight. As head of the Bolling mission, he was sent to Europe to study Allied aircraft and recommend what the United States should build or buy. Navigating through the labyrinth of wartime diplomacy and military bureaucracy, Bolling crafted deals that would equip America's air forces with the best technology available. His work laid the foundation for what would eventually become the U.S. Air Force. By early 1918, Bolling's contributions had earned him the rank of colonel and a future combat command, but he was a man who led from the front. On March 26 of 1918, during Germany's ferocious spring offensive near the Somme River, Bolling and his driver, Private Paul Holder, found themselves in enemy territory. The scene was stark, rolling French fields scarred by trenches, the acrid scent of gunpowder hanging in the air. Bolling's car was ambushed by German bullets. With no escape and only a service revolver in hand, he took cover in a shell crater. Eyewitness accounts say he fired back, protecting his unarmed driver. In the end, Bolling was overpowered, a tragic end for a man who had given up everything for his country. Colonel Bolling's sacrifice was not in vain. He was posthumously awarded the Distinguished Service Medal and the French Legion of Honor. Even Bolling Air Force Base in Washington, D.C. was named in his honor, a lasting tribute to a man who saw the future of warfare in the skies long before many of his peers. Back in Greenwich, a bronze statue by Edward Clark Potter stands as a poignant reminder of his courage and vision. As for Greyledge, it met the wrecking ball in the early 2000s, only to be replaced by an empty field. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. What did you think about Greyledge and Bolling's story? Let me know down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.